I remained in Auschwitz about 10 days. And then one morning, I didn't work in Auschwitz, in Birkenau. Then one morning, we got lined up on a bell, and then we got selected. And there were 1,000 of us selected, and we were ordered in to the same cattle trucks. 2 barrels again, the train set off. And it took 3 days before the train stopped. We had no food given us, only what we had the day before we set off. And the train stopped. We didn't know where we were. Doors opened. The place lit up. Again, loud flew to Judah. There was the SS and dogs. We were lined up 5 in a row, 20 in a block, so you had 100 in a block, and we were marched off. And as we got nearer, we saying the name of Buchenwald. We arrived in Weimar, Buchenwald. There were steel gates, which are still there this day, because I went back 3 years ago. The gates opened, we were marched through. Buchenwald was a massive camp. Buchenwald opened in 1937, and that was the second largest camp what Hitler built. We marched a good kilometer. Within Buchenwald itself was a smaller camp called the Little Camp. There were about 20,000 prisoners there. I was allocated in Block 62. Camped in again, same procedures. All the Jews and Gypsies were put into the little camp. And life in there was different for us, a lot stricter, because we were classified as just animals. Now, briefly, let me just a little bit explain the procedure, what it was in the camp itself. Every camp was internally run by fellow prisoners. And we were identified with different labels on our overall, on our left-hand side of our uniform, on our jacket, and on the right-hand side of our trousers. Jews were yellow with a J-U in it. The red used to be the communists, green the criminals, then maroon homosexuals. So everybody was labeled so they knew exactly who they dealt with. Now, there was 2 sort of camps where the internal command were communists, which most of them were already in prison for 10, 12 years. And the other one was the criminals with the green on. So if you happen to be like Buchenwald was a communist run internally by communists, life was a lot easier, or a lot better, I should say. Just the same, we had to starve and watch ourselves. Then in another camp, it was run by criminals.